Welcome back to Rudiano's office. I'm angry. Why? Well, it seems to me like most of my time at uni was a waste. Well, I did graduate with an English literature and civilization degree, but the whole system is wrongly structured. Education, higher education especially, teaches you what to think, not how to think critically. So it teaches you a lot of data, a lot of info, but not how to connect the dots and understand the whole system. No big picture thinking, just pointless facts, unrelated facts that you have to regurgitate onto a paper or maybe orally in an exam in order to get a piece of paper. And the problem with this is that if you actually manage to go through the system the way they want you to, then you become knowledgeable, but not necessarily understanding of anything. In other words, you become a data head, but you're not clever, not intelligent. I put myself in that basket. I knew how to sound maybe educated, but do I have common sense? Am I understanding how things relate to each other? Not necessarily. I have to go about it myself, find out myself how things relate to each other, because uni didn't teach me that. Yeah, it's a big problem. At least two reasons. If you come out with a degree and an ability to sound very well educated, but not understanding really what you're talking about, then you're not able to solve problems. You're able to rattle off very high sounding and very clever sounding things, and possibly get a few people marveling at your winsome words. But it's empty. And when it comes to, if you come across a problem and you've got the concepts to help you to deal with that problem, you won't see how to deal with that problem. And the second thing is that you can even stop people from actually creatively solve that problem, because you'll be adamant and you'll be very clever and very articulate, in the ways that this thing right here could not work. And because you sound very clever and you sound knowledgeable and people defer to you, it's like you're stopping them from progressing. And I see a lot of experts in a lot of fields are like that. They've got the accolades, they've got the following, and they've got the clout, but they don't really know what's happening. Therefore, they give opinions and they give takes that sound very well, very articulate, but they don't know what they're talking about. And then, because we're in a society as well of people being taught what to think rather than how to think, we forget. This is the problem I see. If you know something, you know the facts, but you don't know how they connect to other facts, you can very easily forget what you've learned and forget the facts. And then somebody comes back and teaches you the facts again, and then you're like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar, I recognize that fact. But say that person teach you those facts again with a little bit of a tweaking, and it's not what you really learned, but because you've got this little recognitive memory of the concept, but you didn't understand it, somebody can bamboozle you very quickly and say, yeah, this concept is this, that, and the other, and you're like, oh yeah, that's familiar. That must be true, and you're just being bamboozled. Somebody's just reshaped the narrative for you, and you didn't have a clue because you didn't understand the concept to start with. But if you do understand the concept, you understand the facts and how they connect to other things. It doesn't matter if somebody comes and tells you, oh yeah, no, these facts you've got wrong. You're just like, hang on. But if I've got that wrong, how comes this that is connected to that does this? And this other concept that is linked, they have to work together. Something's not right. I think the problem is your idea of this concept here. See, you're not easily bamboozled anymore. And unfortunately, that's not my case. I should not say that, but I am saying it. If you're going to university or higher education and you've been used to being force-fed facts without understanding, then anybody can come and alter the facts and you won't see. So what's the solution? You have to go through your own university. Again, you have to relearn things. That's what I'm doing now. I have to relearn things, and not relearn in the sense of memorizing anymore. That is not learning that. It's not the way to learn. Understanding, big picture thinking, so that you know how things are, how things work, and people don't bamboozle you as easily. So how do I go about that? Well, I've got a lot of books I've read, and now I'm gonna reread them because the way I read them was wrong. You know, I was just happy just because I like my brain being stimulated. So I would read for the sake of reading, read for the sake of learning a new concept or just coming across a new concept, and I'm like, interesting, and that's about it. Didn't really understand it deeply, didn't go into my long-term memory. Therefore, I wonder if some of you relate to this. You know, when you watch a film and then you like, that sounds familiar, that looks familiar, I've seen this before. But I didn't realize until I was 30 minutes in or something like that. It's a recognitive memory that's playing there. It works with books as well. You read a book and you're like, hang on, that looks familiar. I did read that book before. Recognitive memory is not enough. You need things to really click in your brain. When you understand things, then your long-term memory is involved. And then when you understand things, you don't have to memorize them because they're just there. And like I said before, once you understand things, you understand how the world works, you're not naive anymore. You don't get yourself bamboozled anymore, because I tell you, it's incredible how this society is very adept at gaslighting you, at changing the narrative, moving the goalposts, and make you think that it's your brain that's wrong. Change facts and just tell you, no, it's always been like that. It's just your perspective is wrong. No. You are not telling me that I'm insane, so I'm gonna be demanding for myself more than just a surface level understanding of stuff, because otherwise I'm gonna go mad. So I encourage you to do that. I mean, it's difficult, but it's the only way to keep your sanity. And let me give you an example that is loosely related. But let me preface this by saying, I'm old enough to remember that most of the knowledge was encapsulated in libraries, in books, in written form. Therefore, it was difficult to falsify. I guess I'll say it like that. Now everything that we learn is online. Now the thing with online is very nice, it's very accessible, it's very convenient, but things can be edited very easily, very quickly, and you have no clue unless you know where to look. In the source code of the, I don't know how, but I'm expecting if you're tech savvy, you'll know where to look to see where things have been modified. People can modify things online and make it out like it's always been like that. There's not been any change. So, anecdote. I remember when Wikipedia became a thing. At the time, anybody could go on Wikipedia and write an article or modify an article. It's not open like it used to be, which is a good thing. But at the time, it was all open, and I remember going in. I changed something. I can't remember what I changed. If I changed my name over there, or I put an article on myself or something, but I put something related to me, and then a colleague came in, and instead of Rudy or something like that, they put Rude Dog. Because that was one of my nicknames, Rude Dog, as in RUDEDAWG, Rude Dog. Anyway, or RD at the time I was called. Anyway, that's another era that was. So somebody just came in and edited that, and it was funny, but it was like that. You could just change things on Wikipedia. And now you can't on Wikipedia, but most people have a site, and most people can do that. So you say you have a reputable site, and the narrative says one thing, and then one day they have a boardroom meeting and they say, "Oh, we need to say this, that instead of this, that. So let's change the terms and conditions on our website." And it's done like that. And depending on how, if they've got integrity or not, they're gonna say, okay, we have changed the terms of services. It now says this. More often than not, even if they've got integrity, they're like, we have recently changed the terms of and conditions. Here are the updated ones. Go to the link and look through the 28-page legalese document and try and find out where we changed things. I'm sorry if I sound cynical, but this is the world we're living in. And if you're not trying to really know some stuff deeply, man, you're taken in, like a wave, to and fro, and to and fro, or maybe like a pendulum. And because society likes that, society loves extremes. One day they think this thing, the next day they'll think totally the opposite. There's no middle. You're gonna go through this and you're gonna go through that, and it's like, what do I think? What do I think? The majority thinks this, and tomorrow the majority thinks that. Where am I at? So yeah, you've got to try and think critically, because otherwise, if you're led by your emotions, oh my goodness, they have you, they do mincemeat out of you. So I'm going to be documenting what I'm learning, and yeah, so stay tuned. We'll see where this journey takes me. Ciao. This video is sponsored by Rethink Entrepreneur. Check out the site, check out my merch in the link in the description.